What's up, yeah? Good morning, Joe. As always, caffeine. Cheers. All right, this video is a response to a question I got. This is from you, buddy, Jeremy Willis. Now, this is a comment from Jeremy Willis, and I was on one of my videos about it. If you need a film degree, right? More towards the end here. But then comes doubts on experience versus schooling and shit. I guess I just need to keep watching some lower level foundation theory stuff, like technical aspect takes on effort to learn. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like maybe there's some basic editing mistakes that new people like myself make. Future video requests for you: editing theories, do and don'ts. I think he talks about like Taran, the main editor for Linus Tech. Now, I like Taran. I have not met him yet. I have chatted with him online a couple of times. When I started editing, I did watch a lot of his videos to get an idea of how to work. Not necessarily how to edit, but basically what he does so he can edit fast. And like this video itself, the world's most advanced editing tutorial from start to finish, yeah, it's a good video. I do encourage you guys to watch it. With this particular video though, it's a 4-hour long video. But the funny thing is that like even though this video was 4 hours long, it took me almost 2 days to completely watch it. And the reason for that is because when I started editing, I mainly used a lot of like the mouse tools to edit, right? I'm using the mouse a lot. Say like the blade tool. I'll select the blade tool, make cuts, then I'll select the selection tool and all the other crap. With Taran, he basically showed that, there's a lot of ways to edit faster by using shortcuts, commands. So he goes into like detail how he uses multiple keyboards, he uses macros and other stuff like that. So that's where I got introduced to like learning about macros. Like I had no idea what a macro was, right? So, thanks to him, I started messing around with macros, right? Yeah, then he goes talking about like hotkeys, using that software. I actually did like mess with that software myself. I actually did have a second keyboard. Yeah, this is a video back in 2018, and like I kind of actually go over it. I kind of did a similar thing that Taran did, in the sense that I didn't print out my keyboard layout like he did, but I just got like a bunch of papers and like I stuck them together, right? Yeah, I messed with it, and it worked for a while, but eventually it got to a point where my keyboard stopped working, the software didn't work and stuff like that, and I just lost interest big time, right? So I completely ditched using hotkeys altogether. Eventually, I stopped using that technique of creating my own hotkeys with a separate keyboard, and then I started messing around using iCUE software, right? Basically, iCUE, you can check out this video that I made, right? Basically, it creates the macros for you, right? So there's like that software that it does what hotkeys can do for you, but you are able to use this software to basically create your own like macros, right? Obviously, you have more options, more control when you use your own like individual like hotkeys, create your own macros using hotkeys, you have more control, obviously, right? But straight out, I'm more of a person that I try to figure out ways to get shit done faster, right? And when I have like my second keyboard, I had to learn how to create macros and stuff like that, using learning commands and like doing scripting, which is fine. But if something was wrong, I'm spending a lot of time trying to like, figure out what the problem was rather than getting work done. And I got to a point where I didn't like that, right? For me, it's a lot easier to use what I have available. In this case, Corsair iCUE, which I like. It's not perfect, but it is good, right? To get what I need done, right? So even though it's not perfect, I just, understand and work with the limitation that it has. And then I work with it and I make it work for me, right? Now, when it comes to like theories, I've got to basically use a theory from from a heroin addict that blew his own head off. Regardless how you feel about Kurt Cobain, from Nirvana. I like the music. Growing up, that was my favorite band, right? How do you feel about Kurt Cobain? Okay, fine, whatever. But there's no denying that basically his way of composing music is something that is very memorable, right? Like he definitely was not the best musician. He was definitely not the best guitarist in any manner, but that's basically what made him him. He basically, he didn't follow any real music theories. He didn't really follow any like music patterns. He basically just like really liked to write music, and he developed his own style that worked, right? I'm gonna play this little clip here, then I'm gonna like feed off that.
Absolutely not. I have no concept of knowing how to be a musician at all whatsoever. I mean, I don't know the names of chords to play. I don't know how to do major and minor chords on a guitar at all. I mean, I couldn't even pass Guitar 101, folk Guitar 101. Everyone knows more than I do. I never learned how to read music. I just copied the other people that took the time to learn how to read. It's so simple. You know, boom, tap, boom, tap, boom, tap, 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 tap. I didn't see any reason to. Even at that age, I didn't see any reason to learn anything that someone else has written. You know, if you go by a text, then you're pretty limited, you know. I'm not into musicianship at all. To learn how to read music or to understand arpeggios and Dorian modes and all that stuff is just a waste of time. You know, it gets in the way of originality.
All right, so basically, that's how my approach to it, like just about everything in life. When it comes to theories about editing, basics, and all this shit, when I was going to school, basically, you know, they're always like, my teachers, I mean, I got no disrespect to them, but like, a lot of teachers that, you know, were trying to teach us like film theory, it was always like the same shit, you know, Citizen Kane. Yeah, Citizen Kane, a fucking movie that was made back in what, 1941. They're showing you a film theory of a movie that was made in 1941, right? So that for me is always kind of like a red flag. You know, they're showing you like old, you know, rhythms. You know, they're like, oh yeah, you know, old movies. But like the thing about Citizen Kane that like the teacher really wanted to show us a lot is basically there's always like a triangle in whatever scene you have, right? Say you have like a 3-point look, right? You have one person here, one person here, one person here. They're like, oh, look, there's a triangle, right? They go into like the lighting detail, be like, oh yeah, you see, you have like this lighting to make him seem more menacing, but yet he's laid perfectly in his face, but his shoulders are broad, the back, you know, so he can pop out. You know, they go into details of like, you know, how to light up scene and all this shit and so on and so forth, right? However, you know, fast forward to today, you know, what he got. You know, now you have crazy movies, say like Marvel, with a bunch of like DC, like, you know, Marvel characters flying in the air, doing kinds of weird shit and fucking bunch of explosions and whatnot, and just things have changed, right? And in regards to YouTube, I mean, just for example, let's go with PewDiePie, like probably like the biggest YouTuber that I know of, right? And like if you click on all of his videos, for the most part, his whole videos are just him in front of a webcam with some lights and, you know, a mic. You know, obviously there's no real cinematography, you know, theory 101 there, right? But still, people enjoy his video making. There's a lot of like jump cuts, a lot of editing that, you know, makes his video more interesting and engaging, right? Like punch-ins or whatever. I feel like I'm taking too long to answer a fucking simple question about video theory. If you haven't picked up on it, I don't have any fucking theory. Jesus Christ. Have you watched my videos? Have you watched like Game Pause videos? Fucking A. I mean, there's a bunch of shit I threw around randomly, but there are do's and don'ts that I have, right? And I guess it's just my theory, right? So, Joe's theory to film editing 101. The do's. Well, to start with, just get started. Don't fucking wait to be perfect. Don't wait to be good. Just get started. You know, just no reason for you to like sit around and watch hours of tutorials. You know, you need to like wait till you have like the right camera, the right, you know, microphone, the right, I don't know, freaking lights. It doesn't matter. Just get started. You know, that's all you gotta do. You know, that's the first thing you gotta do is just get started. You know, that's my opinion. You know, really gotta get started and just start practicing, right? Once you get the ball rolling, at least for me, like I'm at a point now where like I started with like a very bad mic at first, right? And then like I've moved on to this mic, right? More down the line, I'd like to get a better camera, right? So there's like a progression that happens as I'm making these videos, right? I'm feeling a lot more comfortable speaking towards the camera as I make these videos, right? Now that I got my own place, you know, I feel more comfortable to like make videos without being disturbed. More down the line, me and my girlfriend were actually planning on getting like a 2-bedroom apartment. That way I can have the second room, I can turn it into my office, right? So I can have more of a little studio setup, right? So there's like a natural progress that happens as I make these videos, right? So there is a progression that happens as soon as you get started, you know, just practice, you know, that's all it takes, right? And then as you practice, you'll learn what works for you and what doesn't. Don't sit around and try to like copy someone. Don't think if you follow like someone else's, you know, footsteps, then you're gonna get the same results as that person did, right? Like I said in the beginning of the video, I followed a lot of like Terrence advice or tutorials on how to like create like macros, you know, using like a second keyboard. I did that and I didn't like it. It didn't work for me, right? So now, you know, I mainly use software to create my macros that works for me, right? There's a lot of trial and error there, but if something's not working for you, then chances are it's not for you, right? Making macros using a second keyboard wasn't for me. I didn't like it. It worked for a while, but after a while, I didn't like it, so I ditched that concept and I started, using more macros, using the IQ software, right, for my mouse and my keyboards, right. Dudes, do accept that you are not perfect. You're gonna make mistakes, and that's fine, right? If you start recording and you kind of notice that maybe you're not good at speaking and you're not good at looking at the camera, you don't feel comfortable, that's fine, that's good. That's basically what you want to do. You want to see yourself. Once you start filming and you see yourself in the video, you kind of start to learn, okay, areas where you can improve on, right? And which is why it's important to get started. You kind of start seeing, oh, I need to work on this, I need to work on that, right? Even if it's not your own videos, when I started working on Pause videos, right? After he uploaded the video, and then basically, I was going through the comments and then I was reading some of the feedback, that does help also, right? So that's another do take criticism in a positive manner. Even if some people are being rude or blunt, take it as a positive manner, right? The audio was too low, the audio was too loud, the music is too loud, is distracting, so on and so forth, right? There's a lot of people do give you feedback on what they like and don't like, so that is important to be able to be accepting of feedback, right? Don't get into fucking arguments on the internet. If someone leaves you a negative argument or negative comment on you, about you, just block them, dude. Don't waste your time on that shit. It's not worth it. It's not worth your time. You're exposed to a lot of people on the internet, so if someone says something negative to you, the best thing you can do, honestly, just block them, mute them, and just move on. Don't worry about that. And finally, do reach out to people and leave comments and ask questions. From it's kind of the reason why I'm making this shit. I don't consider myself a professional in any manner. I don't consider myself an expert. I don't see myself as any higher authority in any manner when it comes to editing or whatever. I'm just a guy that I really like to put together videos, and that's mainly it. I just really like doing what I do, right? And I have fun with it. So I guess I'll end with that. Depending on what it is you want to achieve, if you want to make YouTube videos, sure, there is, I guess, a standard methods of doing things, which is basically just common sense crap, get good image quality, probably get the best audio you can, get a good mic, make sure everything looks, pretty much lit evenly, so on and so forth, be able to speak as well as you can in front of the camera and the mic. There's a lot of common sense shit available out there, but when it comes to the final product, how you deliver a video, how you deliver a movie, that's where your creativity comes into play. That's something that you develop over time with practice, right? So anyways, I'm gonna end the video there. I really got nothing else to add to that, so thanks for your question. Definitely leave more questions, and I'll get back to you when I can. I do appreciate it. So all right, thanks again for watching. Take care and peace.